So it's Friday, and I just wanted to dive into a conspiracy. We're gonna make Friday's Conspiracy Day just because it sends you off into the weekend thoughtful and makes you question things, right? I mean, the fact of the matter is, a lot of things we thought were pretty well established in history, as time goes on, we've come to realize that they're not quite exactly the way we thought they were. But in any case, this year is actually 80 years since the Allies won against fascism, at least militarily, because in another video we'll talk about, unfortunately, that ideology is still around. It's very much alive, unfortunately. But that's for another video. In this video, I wanted to talk about, the devil himself, right? So in this article by MI5, it's actually very interesting how it details Hitler's last days, right? April 30th, 2015, it was 70 years, 10 years now, 2025, it's 80 years. So for whatever reason, in June 1945, the Soviets announced that falsely Hitler's remains had not been found and that he was probably still alive. And you can imagine, if the devil himself was rumored to still be alive, you can imagine that pretty much everybody was seeing him, right? And we kind of saw that when the U.S. went into Iraq. They were having Saddam sightings everywhere, right? You can check out multiple videos from the people that were actually on the ground on the hunt for him. They'll tell you about that. But in this case, this article, which the link for the stuff I'm going to show you here and the other two articles I'll show you below, are below in the description, so you can find this information. And by the way, I didn't hack anything, right? This stuff, of the many advantages of living in a democratic open society, is that you have access to some of these files. And well, we'll get into another video, but some stuff I think they should keep very much hidden, not necessarily because they're not being transparent, but because you do reveal sources and methods, right? And like, it's a whole debate, and I understand, and again, we'll get into it in another video. But here, I just want to focus on this. So, this article, the MI5 article, pretty much traces what we know, or what you learn in history books anyway, about the final days and what happened, and the fact that he married his mistress, right? And that he committed suicide. However, our American colleagues did actually hunt for him. So this was released 75 years after it was published. So this was published on 23rd of October 1945, and it's a memorandum for a Mr. C. Darwin Marin of the FBI, right? And it turns out that according to this document, which, again, the link is below, and you can find it, it's on the CIA website, right? Apparently, Hitler had some sort of connection to a spa called La Falda in Argentina. And so if you read the article, it traces how whoever this person was, a Mrs., I can't really quite make out the name, but she apparently was connected to the Nazi Party. So this was an Argentine person who unfortunately had sympathies towards these people, right? And interestingly enough, apparently they made some money available to them even before the Nazi Party was formed, which is remarkable. Not in a good way, by the way. But yeah, nonetheless surprising. So it says that, basically it says that they set up this spa in preparation should anything go bad. And of course it did. And apparently, in another document that we're about to see, apparently he did make it out to Argentina. So this document, which again, on the CIA website, nothing has been hacked or anything like that, apparently Hitler went by the name Schrittelmayer. So Adolf Schrittelmayer, and this was dated the 10th of October 1955, confidential, unclassified, and this is written up by the Chief of Station of Caracas, obviously the CIA. And what they're discussing is that apparently one of their sources, obviously they're using a pseudonym, right? Similody-3 reported the following: neither Similody-3 nor the station is in a position to give an intelligent evaluation of the information that is being forwarded as possible interest, right? So that must be some sort of intelligence lingo. That means that they're not sure, but it's worth checking out. I'm assuming. Of course, none of us know, right? This is all conjecture and speculation. That's why it's Conspiracy Friday, right? So, Similody-3 apparently is contacted on the 29th of September 1955 by a trusted friend who served under his command in Europe and who is presently residing in Maracaibo. Apparently, this person revealed, or Similody-3 preferred not to reveal the identity of his friend. So, already you're taking the word of someone, right? That should like raise all kinds of alarm bells already. So it's hearsay, right? But I'm assuming that intelligence is pretty much that's how it works, right? I mean, you don't have certainty of this stuff. There's no way you can have that, right? It's all smoke and mirrors. But given how how much they wanted this obviously Hitler, right? And just the horribleness of his crimes, it was worth checking out just to make sure. So apparently, Similody-3's friend says that he was in constant contact with Hitler and that Adolf Hitler was still alive. And so apparently he was living someplace in Tunga, Colombia, as we're about to see in the bottom here. So on the 28th of September 1955, Similody-3's friend surreptitiously obtained the photograph which Citron, which is the guy that was actually in contact with him, who was now working with a shipping company out of the Netherlands. On the 29th of September 1955, the photo was shot. I'm about to show you. And I mean, so this already so many alarm bells, but again, it's declassified document, right? So he was not in any position to make comments. Nonetheless, he borrowed the photograph long enough to be able to take a photostat. So I didn't even know what a photostat was. I had to look that up, and apparently it's like the early version of what later became a photocopier. And yeah, we don't even use paper anymore, right? So, but when photocopies were still a thing, I guess the grandfather or the father of that was the photostat. So, so we're getting hearsay and we're getting like secondhand physical evidence. So what does that actually mean? Who knows, right? In any case, it goes on to say that Adolf Hitler apparently was now going by the name of Adolf Schirmeyer, and he was living in Tunga, Colombia in 1954, and then in 1955 he went on to go live in Argentina. Now, is that true? Is it not true? I don't, who knows, right? Who knows? But here's the photograph. And this was microfilmed apparently in 1963. And I mean, it's pretty obvious that, I mean, this guy clearly looks like him, right? But this isn't DNA evidence. This isn't 100% solid proof. It's just a photograph, right? So, yeah, let me know in the comments below. What do you guys think? Did he survive? Did he escape? I hope he didn't, but who knows, right? Let's keep the conversation going. So it's Friday, and I just wanted to dive into a conspiracy. We're gonna make Fridays Conspiracy Day just because it sends you off into the weekend thoughtful and makes you question things, right? I mean, the fact of the matter is, a lot of things we thought were pretty well established in history, as time goes on, we've